Welcome to the Calcutta Races Season 2020-2021 Winter Meeting, 4th day, Sunday, 17 January 2021, Race Preview. Race number 1, the Bruckner Handicap for horses rated 1 to 26, about 1200 meters. First, we're looking at horse number 1, Abenaki. Chevalier out of Abdicate finished 6th in her last start over a mile, where the jockey was reprimanded for riding an injudicious race. Now back to a sprint. Let's see if she can do any better.
Number 2, we have Jin Soku, ran in race number 19, speaking of which out of Abronia, has had one start this season, where the colt led the field up to the distance post and thereafter finished 5th, probably needing that run. Jin Soku is being ridden by jockey A. Ashad Asbar. Number 3, we have Ya Halla, being ridden by jockey R. S. Bhatti. Has had one start this season where it finished unplaced. Prior to that, Ya Halla finished 3rd in its only start last season.
Next, we're looking at horse number 5, Bame Hughes, horse number 7, Simran Spet, and horse number 9, Buddy Holly. Bame Hughes, who has had 2 starts this season, both unplaced. He was dropped by 3 points from the last run, now being ridden by jockey Muhammad Islam. Horse number 7, Simran Spet, by Surf Rider out of Agility, has already had 3 starts this season. Hasn't been impressive in any of those starts. Is being run by apprentice Aditya Kumar Jaiswal. Horse number 9, Buddy Holly, has been running disappointingly, finished 3rd in its last run, that being the best performance in quite some time, ridden by Sujit Paswan.
Next up, number 6 is NANDINI'S, who finished 3rd in her last run after stumbling at the start. NANDINI'S is now being ridden by apprentice Hashib Alam.
Horse number 8, The Last Judgment, finished on from way back in its last start over 1100 meters. Let's see if the extra 100 meters make a difference to the fortunes of The Last Judgment. Race number 2, the Maltese Prince Handicap for horses rated 21 to 46, about 1600 meters.
Number 1, we have Devin Chakra, the mount of Dashrath Singh. Finished 2nd in his last start over a mile to Cliffhanger. Had earlier won over the same trip. Devin Chakra is up by 4 points on that run and is expected to be right there at the busy end.
Horse number 2, Eastern Crown, by Night Store out of Second City, being ridden by K. Sai Kiran, has had 3 starts this season. All 3 were unplaced. Is down by 2 points. Eastern Crown has to show a lot of improvements of those runs if he has to come out and win today.
Number 3, we have Astral Star by Multi-Dimensional out of Astral Flash, running in the famous Amita Mehra colours, has had 2 starts this season. It came out and won on the opening day of the season. Subsequently, she ran in the 1000 guineas when she ran a disappointing race. Astral Star is now being ridden by jockey Y. S. Srinath.
Horse number 4, Intellection. Intellection is being ridden by P. S. Chauhan this time. Won a 2000 meter race in the lowest class. Subsequently ran in the Calcutta Oaks, which was clearly out of her league. Now back to a handicap race. Let's see how Intellection delivers this time.
Next up we have number 5, Virasat, air support out of Satellite, who's making her debut at Kolkata. She has had 2 starts in the Mumbai meeting being held at Pune, both unplaced. Let's see how she performs in her debut run here.
Horse number 6, Rustler. The H-year-old ran on the 5th of January, finished 5th in a 2000 meter race after running after the big gap. Let's see how it has improved on that run.
Number 7 we have Incognito, last outing winner by Win Legend out for an Angel, 1 over mile beating stablemate Moresco. Now running in the upper class, jockey Neeraj Rawal rides Incognito.
Number 8, Dear Queen, last seen raced in race number 55 over 1100 meters. Dear Queen has had 4 starts this season, all unplaced. Down by 2 kilos on the last run, apprentice Sujit Kumar Paswan rides Dear Queen. Race number 3, the aggregated handicap for horses rated 41 to 66, about 2400 meters.
Number 1, Kimaya, chestnut mare by Setchfield, a model of consistency, finished on board in all 4 starts this season. Finished second to Tudor Hall on 13th of January, now running over 2400 meters for the first time. S. John rides Kimaya this time. Next up we have number 2, Ghost, number 3, AAYEGA, and number 4, Avellino. All 3 ran in race number 43 over 2000 meters. Ghost, who's had a smashing season so far, 2 wins out of 3 starts, was second by short head to Avellino in race number 43. Suraj Naridu rides Ghost, which will definitely enhance the chances of Ghost in the race. APNA jockey Arshad Alam will be on board. And number 4, Avellino, came out and won that race, beating Ghost by a short head, now being ridden by Neeraj Rawal.
Horse number 5, Namiki by Total Gallery out of Cordoba, finished 5th in the Calcutta Oaks behind the likes of Zoya and Violin. Silver Bracelet, which finished 4th in the Oaks, has come out and won subsequently. Dashrath Singh rides Namiki.
Number 6, Resolute, the last outing winner over 2000 meters. Although in the lower class, Resolute came back with a second run under Suraj Naridu to beat Sea Sky. Hindu Singh rides Resolute this time.
Race number 4, the King's Academy Handicap for horses rated 61 to 86, about 1400 meters.
Number 1, Lord of the Sea, Dean's Kitten out of Enamod, is running after almost a year. Its last run was on 25th February, where the winner was New Moon.
Horse number 2, Izzy. Izzy has had 2 starts this season, finishing 5th on both occasions. The blinkers have been taken off Izzy, and let's see if that makes a difference to her fortunes this time.
Number 3, Namak Halal, the mount of Vinay Jaiswal, finished 4th to Gaurish in race number 45. Now running over 1400 meters. Let's see if it can run away with this race.
Next we're looking at horse number 4, Dandi March. Jockey Suraj Naredu rides Dandi March, which ran second in its start at Pune, making its debut at Kolkata. Like Dandi March, even Rainbow Trout is making its debut, ridden by jockey Hindu Singh.
Number 6, we have Big Star. Big Star has already had 4 starts this season, finished third in its last run to APNA. Arshad Alam rides Big Star this time. Number 7, John Tillis. John Tillis came out and pulverized the opposition in her last run over 1200 meters. 1400 meters will be more to her liking. K. Sai Kiran rides her.
Next we have horse number 8, Louboutin. Rupal Singh will be doing duty astride Louboutin, who finished a dismal 5th in race number 62. The blinkers have been put on her this time.
Number 9, we have Gold Bond, ran in race number 54. Apprentice Vikram rides Gold Bond. The chestnut remains to be a bit of a disappointment so far this season. Has had 4 starts and finished 5th to Moscova in its last start.
Race number 5, the Alokananda Stakes for fillies 3 years old only, about 1200 meters.
Number 1, we have Andrea. We also have number 7, Lady Lorraine. Number 1, Andrea by Roderick O'Connor out of Cameron, finished third in her only start, where she finished 4 lengths behind Lady Lorraine. Has to reverse that 4 lengths on Lady Lorraine. Cletus was the winner in that race. Hindu Singh rides Andrea. As John does duty on Lady Lorraine, which finished second to Cletus in race number 37.
Horse number 2, Delphini. Delphini is by Bated Breath out of Performer. Ran a blinder of a race in the Indian Produce Stakes behind Jake and Galen. Dandi Satyagraha, which finished length and a quarter behind Delphini, has come out and trashed the opposition on 13th of Jan.
Joanna finished 6th in the Indian Produce Stakes, and P. Trevor rides her this time. Number 8, we have Wencheng, who finished 7 lengths behind Amazing Dream in race number 29. Dashrath Singh is declared to ride her this time.
We come to the supporting event of the afternoon, the Cross Calcutta Champions Trophy Grade 3 for 4-year-old only, to be run over 1200 meters.
Number 1, we have Naughty Ash. We also have number 3, Eureka Legend. We also have Prince Satsuma, number 4. Number 6, Amorous White. Number 8, Lesrel. Naughty Ash won that race pretty comfortably from Prince Satsuma. Amorous White was further 3/4 away from this pair. Although Amorous White is better placed on the terms of this race, it remains to be anybody's race. Eureka Legend finished 6th and Lesrel came last in that same race. Number 2, we have Tutankhamun. Nikhil Naidu does duties on Tutankhamun, which is running after first March, where it ran second to Multifaceted in the Suresh Mahindra Multi-Million. He may just need this run after that layoff.
Next we're looking at horse number 5, Awesome One. Awesome One is by Dean's Kitten out of Aim to Achieve. Has had 2 starts after relocating to Calcutta. It won its maiden start at Kolkata over 1400, beating Prince Satsuma. They are closely placed on that run. Awesome One subsequently finished 4th in the Calcutta Gold Cup behind Star Superior.
Next up we have number 7, Into the Spotlight, ran in Bangalore. The 8-year-old horse, Into the Spotlight by Al Nasser Al Washik out of Radiate. The last run was at Bangalore on 28th November 2020. Arshad Alam rides Into the Spotlight now. We come to the piece, the resistance of the season, the Calcutta Derby Stakes 2021 Grade 1 for Indian horses 4 years old only, about 2400 meters. We start with Black Pearl, who needs no introduction at all whatsoever. The bay colt, the star of the centre at the moment by Planetaire out of Alvarita, has won all its 4 starts. And how? It won the Produce Stakes, the Champagne Stakes, the Calcutta Million last season, beating the opposition Hollow. It came out at 1 Calcutta 2000 guineas in taking fashion. Though running after a long layoff, champion jockey Suraj Naredu continues his association with Black Pearl in the Derby Stakes. Black Pearl is the property of Dr. M.M. Ramaswamy Chettiar of Chettinad Charitable Trust.
Horse number 2, Cliff Anger by Top Class out of Lady Escort, the property of Kernil Stud Farm Private Limited and Chandrakant Kankaria, running in the dark and gold colours, has had 2 starts this season, winning both in splendid fashion. Let's see if he can take this mile-and-a-half trip into his stride and surprise them all.
Next up we have number 3 Apsara Star and number 4 Zoya. Apsara Star, 4 starts, 1 win, 2 seconds and a third. Third in the 1000 guineas, second in the Calcutta Oaks behind Zoya, where its saddle apparently slipped during the running of the race. Classic race specialist jockey Y. Srinath rides Apsara Star in the Derby. Number 4 Zoya by Multi-Dimension out of Vienna came out and won the Calcutta Oaks in a very impressive manner, going start to finish, and P. Trevor is declared to ride Zoya. The numbers might not be there, but we are sure none of us want to miss out to see what's in store for us in the Calcutta Derby Stakes 2021.
Race number 8, the In the Spotlight handicap for horses rated 41 to 66, about 1100 meters.
We come to the concluding race. Number 1 Shimmering Star, number 4 Philadelphia and number 9 Bunting all ran in race number 50. Shimmering Star had 1 start this season over 1200 meters where it finished unplaced. P.S. Chauhan rides this speedy customer this time. Philadelphia finished unplaced in its last start, where the winner was John Talese, had earlier won over 1100 meters, being ridden by Vinay Jaiswal this time. Bunting, Bearmare by Intense Focus out of Mistreach, the property of Alpha Stud and Farms Private Limited, has had 1 start where it finished 12th. Apprentice Prithvi Singh Rathore rides Bunting.
Next we're looking at horse number 2, Incendio. Incendio by Win Legend out of Angel's Glory, running after almost a year. Been a very consistent performer for the owners, but over longer trips. She is being ridden by apprentice P. Tejeshwar.
Next up we have number 3 East Side and number 7 Chefera. Both ran in race number 32 over 1400 meters. East Side is running for the first time after change of stables. East Side has had 2 starts this season, both unplaced, and is being ridden by Mohammad Azharuddin. Number 7 Chefera, unplaced in both the races, is running over 1100 now, which should suit him better. Next up we have number 5 Tash, the Bombay Challenger, trained by Javed Khan, will be ridden by Dashrath Singh. With the Bombay horse is performing, we will wait to see how Tash does in its first start.
Horse number 6, Cormorant, is another Bombay challenger, finished 4th in its last start, also from Javed Khan's stable. Cormorant will be ridden by local jockey Muhammad Islam.
Next up we have number 8, Aggression, last raced in race number 54. K. Sai Kiran is declared to ride Aggression. Aggression finished 4th in her last start to Moskova, now running over 1100 meters.
Horse number 10, Court Jester. Court Jester had one start this season where it was supposed to set the pace for Black Pearl in the 2000 Guineas. Court Jester is the winner over short trips and this race should suit him better. Akshay Kumar rides Court Jester. For all those who cannot make it to our course on Derby Day and still sitting at home watching us from your TV screens and your mobiles, we have for you hashtag #AskThePro. So keep sending in your questions on the WhatsApp number given below or subscribe and log on to Royal Calcutta Turf Club and view us live. Thank you.